Remember, you heard it on the X.
Cursed with an addictive personality. Everything I do, I have to do excessively.
Hi, folks. Welcome back to Heard It on the X, the East Coast premier music talk show. A little bit of a cut from the Bumping Uglies. They're going to be joining us at the bottom of the hour. Quickly, I want to talk about something that's going on. There's a little bit of music news tied into it, too. There is this group, and you can search this online. They're called Occupy. Actually, I think they're Occupy whatever. Occupy Wall Street, though. Is what I've been checking out.
What I know is very minimal, so I'm going to let you sort of explain it.
Basically, it is a group of people, and I think there's two different online entities that have kind of merged in New York at a park near Wall Street. There's a lot of stuff online about it. I guess there hasn't been a lot of stuff in the national news media about it, but of course there wouldn't be because, first of all, it's showing dissension from the people toward the economy that's going on now. As we had talked about on the break, Radiohead was rumored to be there. They've been there since September 17th.
There was a rumor that Radiohead was going to play a concert for them, a free concert, but I guess they are not. They have officially said that they're not. But that's actually, where I first started hearing about this was the Radiohead rumors. And then I looked into it a little bit, but you know much more about it.
Yeah, it's so funny because I've been so engrossed in this Zoso concert that I've been locked in a shell in a cave, just concentrating on this. So last night I was up till 6 a.m. just doing research on this, especially this officer Anthony V. Bologna. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. It's spelled like Bologna. It's probably Bologna.
I was going to say V. Bologna.
Yeah. Well,
my V. Bologna.
What I would like you to do is, everybody that's listening, if you can get on Google right now, I'd like you to get on Google and just do a little research on Anthony V. Bologna.
Don't use Bing. I'm not a Bing fan. Google it.
You should do it right now. Why don't you do it right now while you're in studio? Go to Google.
Let me get the Google.
And
I call it the Goose.
Let me tell you a little bit about Officer Bologna. He is a criminal. He is a bully.
Like every cop is a criminal.
No, this guy's a criminal. He's a bully.
All the sinners saints.
He is a criminal. Everybody should be contacting Mayor Bloomberg. He should be reprimanded. He should be fired. He should be away from anything that has to do with dealing with the public. He certainly shouldn't be in charge of a group of officers that's under him like he is. What he did is there was this protest is going on. Now, first of all, people have to realize in this country you have the right to peaceably protest. That's what you have. You have that right in the United States of America. Some officers that work under Anthony came in and they have these portable nets and it's called kettling. They actually kettle people up and separate them from people. They had kettled some. That's
how I was potty trained.
Well, they kettled Josh. Some of the. If you want to play this video, you're gonna regret any kind of wise comments during this one.
He looks very angry.
Well,
he looks like the guy that
What they did is
ask him how his day is, and he goes, "I was in the big war."
Well, they kettled up a bunch of girls, and Officer Bologna came up and sprayed him with pepper spray for no reason whatsoever. And the women are screaming, and the one problem is there are heroes out there, there are actual patriots out there that are risking getting beaten, and the New York City Police Department is actually, there's video of this, I'm not lying.
Yeah, I see the video right now.
I am not lying about any of this. They are threatening and intimidating and arresting people who are taking videotapes. The problem that they have is there's so many people videotaping that there's so much of this story getting out. And the fact that the mainstream media has chosen to ignore this when this is exactly what this country probably needs, or at the very least, this is where our country is at right now. People are fed up, they're disgusted, they're unemployed, they're broke, they're getting thrown out on the streets, they're losing their jobs, they're losing their health care. Even locally, you've got union workers that have had to give back parts of their health care, parts of their pay raises. Talk to somebody who works over at Roswell and see what their union had to concede for them. right now to stay in business, supposedly. Well, rich guys keep getting richer, and this scumbag, and that's what this guy is, this scumbag in police officer's clothing, has the audacity to sneak up like a scumbag thief and spray pepper spray on a bunch of women who are actually separated from everyone else. They were already caged in. They were caged in like animals, maybe 4 or 5 of them. And if you watch this video, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Are you seeing it now?
Yeah, I see the video, and actually, I'm not completely sure here, but I just did some Facebook fact-checking back and forth as I'm reading this article. I think one of the protesters mentioned in this article I'm reading, I actually went to high school with.
Really?
Yeah, I just checked her Facebook to make sure, to see if it was her. I recognized the name, and I don't know if it's her for sure, but I mean, it matches up. It says that she goes to school outside New York, but I believe this might be her, a girl that I went to school with, actually mentioned in this article. It's on theguardian.com. It's a UK article.
Well, the UK is actually covering it, and Canada is actually covering it better than, the mainstream media in the United States. But the mainstream media in the United States doesn't want to cover this because the mainstream media in the United States, whether you're on the left or the right, it doesn't matter. They're all run by really, really rich guys who wear ties, who don't want to report this stuff because they're the problem. They're part of the problem. The problem in this country is the gap between the rich and the poor keeps getting larger, and these people call themselves the 99%ers. Basically, the 1% of the wealthy people in the United States are running everything, and the 99% are left with less and less and less. And right now, what's happening, in my opinion, in the United States of America is what has been happening all throughout the world. And we espouse the virtues of being free, and we espouse the virtues of freedom of speech, and we espouse the virtues of a free society. And this garbage here shows you that we are not a free society. They're still going to let you see what they want you to see. If you're not doing research and finding this stuff out, you will be in the dark. And that's all there is to it. This is a disgusting, heinous display by the New York City police, and Bloomberg, I know right now, is scared. I know for a fact he's scared. He's actually talked about it. Plus, this Occupy mantra is popping up everywhere. I'm not a huge Michael Moore fan myself, but I've seen Michael Moore on TV talking about, take this to your own hometown. So I've seen things in Boston pop up about it. I've seen things in other cities where they're actually protesting peaceably. Peacefully. They're not throwing rocks or anything like that, or flipping cars over.
That happens in Vancouver.
You know what? And honestly, Josh, it might be happening here soon. It really might be. And if it does happen here soon, I can't say that I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised. Let me put it that way. That's what I want to say. I wouldn't be surprised. But what they're doing in places like Boston and Chicago and other cities, they're protesting outside Bank of America's. These major corporations that got humongous bailout money from our government refused to loan, keeping the economy in the toilet, and just announced that they're going to lay off 30,000 people. That's that. People are starting to stand up, and they're getting fed up about it. And this is actually exciting times, and it's exciting news. Actually, 200,000. New York City could be very interesting this week because there's a labor union. I don't remember exactly the labor union, but there's 200,000 members in this union, and they're sending people to New York to reinforce what's going on. Yes, and you know what? I wish the UAW and the Teamsters and CSEA, I wish all of them would send people there, and I wish the mainstream media would camp out and watch what's going on, so these people couldn't be bullied and can't be pushed around, and their cameras can't be taken away. Yesterday in the Brooklyn Bridge, and supposedly this is I don't have fact to back this one up, but they were marching from where they were at Union Square over the Brooklyn Bridge to Brooklyn, and then they were going to march back. It's just a show of solidarity. According to what I read, they were forced off the walkways onto the sidewalk, and then onto the roadway, which meant that they were a menace to society. But they were forced there. Then they were arrested for blocking traffic. So there was upwards of 100 arrests, and I've heard reports as high as 500 arrests. on the Brooklyn Bridge
And
yesterday.
if you want to see this, the footage of Officer Bologna, it's on YouTube. You type in "unbelievable protest footage NYPD." It should come up, and about 3 minutes is when he starts going off. And then there's a second one. It's called. His name is spelled like Bologna. It's Bologna. I don't know how he pronounces it.
I think it's Bologna, really is how it's pronounced.
But
it doesn't matter. It's just,
yes, Second Attack is the second video of him with a bunch of girls where he sprays them down.
it's heinous to watch this. He walks up and just is indiscriminately shooting pepper spray at them, and actually hitting even his own officers with it. And his own officers look shocked that he even did it. Mm-hmm. And this is a high-ranking officer. I don't think he's a commander, but I think he's a captain. And he's one of the guys that wear the white shirts. So that's on top of the guy that's supposed to be the hero, he's also in charge of somebody underneath him. And this is not a hero. But I do think it's funny that, this idiot's name is Bologna. And it's the same thing with Anthony Weiner. Tell me there is not some kind of cosmic justice going on. Anthony Weiner with what he did with that name, this guy Bologna, and it's the truth. Something needs to be done, and I think the mainstream media needs to go there. And these people that are in New York, whether you agree with what they're doing or don't agree with what they're doing, they have the right to do what they're doing, and they're not violent. They have the absolute right to do what they're doing, and I think the people in this country have forgotten their rights, forgot what they have the right to do and what right not to do. And you certainly have the right to videotape what's going on too, without being thrown to the ground and a knee put on your neck. And there's a wonderful video of that.
I was going to say, there's that video. What was it in Rochester, or where was that?
The one is just
where the woman is filming from her front yard.
That was in Rochester,
Yeah.
but there's also a video of this event where there's a guy who's holding an American flag. He's disgusted with what the police are doing, and he's asking them, "You stand for this, you stand for this," holding up the flag. They grab him, throw him to the ground, and put their knees in his neck.
Really?
And if you watch that, and I said, "Look, you're watching video of the Middle East, you believe me."
Mm-hmm.
Or, with the exception of the clothing, if I said you were watching Nazi Germany, you'd believe me. Mm-hmm. It's disgusting what's going on there. It's absolutely disgusting. And I watched video for maybe 4 hours yesterday. And every single video made me sadder and sadder and sadder. And I hate to put such a downer on this, but I think that every listener out there should get on Google and look at Occupy Wall Street. I'm not trying to get you to be a hippie tree hugger or anything like that. I'm just telling you this is what's going on in the United States of America. Radiohead was supposed to, that was the rumor, that's how we were going to tie it into music news, or musically. Radiohead was rumored to be there. I'll bet you by the end of this week, though, and I'm not kidding around, this is my prediction, by the end of this week you will see a Radiohead or maybe even a Dave Matthews or somebody there, because these people are patriots, honestly.
Well, I'm definitely going to have to start, checking this daily, because you can't see it on the news.
Yeah, the one knock on this particular group is I think their objectives are very unclear as to what they're trying to accomplish. But I read in the Huffington Post and I read a couple other places that their objectives are getting more clear. They kind of put the cart before the horse, and they got people there where now they're starting to get an idea of what they're doing, and people in New York City and the restaurants in New York City, they're all helping them out. They're feeding them, they're sending them clothes, they're letting them use the facilities. Some people in New York City are opening their apartments to them so they can shower and charge their iPads and their phones and stuff like that. So what you're seeing might be a humongous major movement that's starting now. I mean, and this is, this is something that this country needs, and in all aspects of this country, it needs a clean sweep. Generally, great art will come out of this. Great things will come out of this, and we just need more people available and paying attention. All right, I'm done. I'm off my pulpit right now. We're going to take a short commercial break. We're going to come back with Brendan from the Bumping Uglies. Stick around, folks. Heard it on the X.